Hey everyone. So I'm not doing my part 3 of Charlie Spring yet because I feel like I want to space them out a little bit. I don't know if you noticed that with my Heartstopper ranking video, but yeah, I'm gonna space them out. I just so they're not all in a row, you know what I mean? But yeah, today I'm gonna be ranking all of Sonic the Hedgehog's voice actors. Not like all the voice actors I've ever been in the franchise, just Sonic's voice actors, and because Sega are kind of bad for it, he has had a lot of them. So yeah. Um, in case you didn't know, Sega kind of have a habit where they seem to replace Sonic's voice actor a lot. It's kind of actually ridiculous how often they would do that. I mean, I guess Roger Craig Smith has voiced him for like 10 years at this point, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. I do have to say one thing though. I'm not ranking them as people. I'm just ranking them for their voices. So I don't know if any of them have done anything really bad in real life. If they have, please let me know. But as far as I'm aware, like they haven't. So like I'm just ranking them for their voices. So if hypothetically one of them's ranked in like A rank, but they're a terrible person in real life, then I'm not ranking them based on that. I'm ranking them just for their voice as Sonic. Does that make sense? Okay. Well, let's just jump right into it. We're gonna start off with Sam Vincent, who is actually Sonic's singing voice. And I'm not gonna lie, he sounds way too different. Like, it's only in Sonic Underground he's a singing voice because that's the whole point of the show, that Sonic and his siblings are in a band. But anyway, it's just way too like different from Jaheel White, if that makes sense. Like, you can like I wasn't even 10 when I first watched Sonic Underground, and it was one of the first things I like noticed about the show, that their singing voices were totally different. Like, it was actually really how different their singing voices were. Like, I know singing voices can be different most of the time, but not this different. Are you kidding me? Like, you could have done so much better there. But yeah, I just think he's too different as Sonic's singing voice. I don't like it. Anyway, next in C rank we have how do you pronounce her name? Meg Ingliam. As I don't know. She's the only woman that's ever voiced Sonic, and that is not why she's ranked low. So please do not comment that. I only have her ranked low because Sonic doesn't suit a feminine voice. You know, it works for Tails because Tails is a literal child, but Sonic's voice needs to be deeper and more heroic than what she did. You know, I actually watched a video hearing all of them, and you know, that was the most jarring one of them all because I never knew that like they actually had a woman voice Sonic, and I thought that was pretty cool, and it's cool that she can say that she's the only woman that's ever voiced Sonic, but I think Sonic's one of those characters that shouldn't ever be voiced by women because his personality is just, it's not fitting, you know. It works for characters like Bart Simpson or, like I said, Tails, but it just doesn't work for Sonic. Anyway, now the B tier, we have Martin Burke. That's how you pronounce it? I think so. I have their names written down here. Yeah, so he voiced Sonic in the Sonic OVA, which stands for Original Video Animation. I remember watching this as a kid. It was weird, and I didn't like the voices. So, sorry, Martin, your voice is not good for Sonic. Kind of have the same problem as Meg, where you do it too high pitched, but yeah. I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, it was a really weird movie. I guess you could call it that. It was because I remember this was back when I was a really big Sonic fan, and I really wanted a Sonic movie so bad. And this was the closest thing we had, and it was really weird. Like, Metal Sonic's the villain, and Metal Sonic talks in it as well, and his voice is really weird as well. And I don't like it. I'm glad I eventually did get an actual good Sonic movie though, but. Anyway, next we have Jason Griffith. Griffith, sorry, God, I can't speak. Yeah, so he's probably one of the most iconic voices of Sonic, but kind of for the wrong reasons, to be honest, because, he was kind of the first replacement, if you get what I mean. So, back when Ryan Drummond was the voice of Sonic, he only voiced him in the first two Sonic Adventure games and in Sonic Heroes, and I think a couple of other spin-off games, but, that's when Sega made the Sonic X, which was the Sonic anime, which Jason Griffith first appeared in. And that was when they were like, actually, you know what? We're going to replace all the game voices with the show voices because it's easier and saves us money. So, yeah. But if you ignore that, his Sonic voice is alright, you know. He's actually the only voice actor who's voiced Sonic and Shadow, so that's really cool. I think he suits both of them, really. I think he should Shadow a little bit more than Sonic, though, I will say. But I think his voice for Sonic is alright. It's kind of, he's even said this himself, it started off kind of like high-pitched and nerdy, but then he, like, developed it over time, which was good. Too bad he never got to keep it, though, because he was once again replaced. So, yeah. Also, I just want to quickly say, he also voices Silent in Pokemon, and I don't know why, but that is so funny to me that he voices Sonic and Silent, because they're so total opposite characters. So, I mean, it shows what a good voice actor he is, I guess. But, yeah. Anyway, next we have Devin Mack. He's only the second black person to ever voice Sonic. I'll get to the first in a little bit while. Although, I'm not gonna lie, he sounds a bit too much like Roger Craig Smith, and it makes me wonder why did they not just get him to voice it? Like, because I've always kind of seen Sonic as a black-coded character, and, like, there's kind of, like, a thing right now where, you know, black-coded characters should always be voiced by black people, and that is how it started, because I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's how it started. But, you know, he hadn't had a black voice actor until Devin, which was like 20 years later or something, or even 30 years later, so yeah. 2022 was a good year for Sonic, though. I mean, we got the Sonic movie 2, we got a new Sonic game, I don't remember which one it was. Oh, it was Sonic Frontier. Yeah, it was Sonic Frontier. And then we got the second ever black voice of Sonic. He only voiced him in Sonic Prime, though, which is the TV show on Netflix, which I really wish didn't end like that. It was so bad, that ending. But yeah, I do like his Sonic voice, but again, he just sounds too much like Roger Craig Smith, which, speaking of him, yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna put him in A rank. So, he's the current voice of Sonic. Current, because he was fired, but immediately hired back, so, you know, I'm sure that Sega will eventually fire him when they find a cheaper option. Ridiculous, really is. Anyway, his Sonic voice, though, I don't know if it's just me, but, like, even though he's, like, kind of iconic in the role now, it kind of feels like, I mean, it's not his fault, it's kind of the writer's fault, but Sonic's had this problem for a while where he just hasn't had any personality whatsoever, and Roger Craig kind of suffers for it. Like, I like his voice, it's just, like, I feel like it's kind of tired, he sounds tired, if you know what I mean. It's kind of the problem I have with the other voice actors as well, which is why he ranks over them at least, but I don't know, he just sounds like he's not having that much fun voicing Sonic now. I don't know if that's just me. I mean, people said it in Sonic Frontiers, because I haven't played that yet. They say that his voice acting is a little bit better in that, but I need to watch the cutscenes or play the game, and I don't know if I want to play the game just yet, so yeah. But he's still good in Sonic Boom. Like, Sonic Boom's really funny, by the way, in case you haven't seen it, and he gives Sonic, you know, not personality, but his dialogue is hilarious. Okay, moving on, we have Jaheel White, the very first voice ever of Sonic. Like, yeah, he's the one that started it all, and he gave Sonic so much personality and attitude, it was amazing. Like, so he's still definitely, well, obviously, one of the best ones, and I like his Sonic voice a lot. Again, this singing voice was way too jarring with his actual speaking voice. And you know what's weird as well? Because he voiced Sonic in all the original Sonic cartoons from the 90s, and in Sonic Satam, he actually did the singing, like a singing for one episode, so it's like, why did you not just have him sing the songs? Like, what? I mean, to be fair, in Sonic Underground, he also did voice Sonic's siblings, like literally his brother and his sister. He voiced all three of them, and that is so funny to me as well. That's funnier than Jason voicing Silent and Sonic and Shadow. Like, honestly, that's much funnier than that. But yeah, I mean, I did like his Sonic and Manic voice, but his Sonya voice, like, just get a female voice actress. I don't know what the deal was there. But yeah, I think he gave Sonic a lot of personality. But speaking of giving Sonic personality, I mean, was there ever any doubt? Actually, wait, he's in the wrong tier. My bad. Ryan Drummond, you know, he's the first Sonic voice I ever heard, because if you didn't know this about me, Sonic Heroes is one of my favorite games of all time. It was my absolute favorite, but Breath of the Wild took over that, obviously. I mean, come on. But yeah, Ryan gave Sonic so much personality and so much attitude, like, wow. And no other voice actor has been able to replicate that since him, in my opinion. Like, they've tried, obviously. Like, Jason had big shoes to fill, and he did not fill them. Well, run them, I guess you should say. Yeah. It's too bad he never voiced Sonic for that long, but he's still held in high regard as probably Sonic's best voice actor. He's not my favorite, we'll get there, but he's definitely his best one. Like, his lines in Sonic Heroes, like, they're so amazing, you know? Like, he gave Sonic so much, like, heroism, is it called? Yeah. And this was back when Sonic wasn't just a hero, because he's always like protected the animals that Eggman's tried to turn into robots, but it was more so just to piss off Eggman and just so to have a laugh. But in the newer games, it's just like, I need to save the day. Oh no, you know what? Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it was more in character for him to be like how he was back then, where he only just wanted to take the piss out of Eggman, but saved the world at the same time. Which, yeah. And yeah, I don't know if you'll agree with me though that like he gave Sonic the most personality of all the voice actors, but yeah. But why is he not number one? Well, yeah, Ben Schwartz. Ben Schwartz only voices Sonic in the movies, but he's given something to Sonic that Sonic hasn't had in years. He's given Sonic an actual personality. Because even before the games had, like, dialogue in them when they were silent, like, Sonic even had personality then. Because if you didn't, like, touch the controller for a while, he'd start looking at the screen and tapping his foot, like, come on, let's go. So, yeah. I said this in my top 10 Sonic characters, but yeah, Ben has given Sonic so much personality that he hasn't had in such a long time. It's funny as well, though, because I probably wouldn't be saying this if Sonic had his original design. I'd probably think he was the worst Sonic. But since they redesigned him, it suited Ben's voice a lot better. And also, I'm not the only one that said this, but it felt good to get an actual voice actor to voice him rather than just casting a random celebrity, which they were going to do. I guess they did do that with Knuckles and Shadow, but it's fine, because Ben Schwartz isn't just like, he's more of a B-list celebrity, I'm being nice here, but he's also like an actual voice actor and not just an actor who's having to do a voice role. That's my ranking of all Sonic's voice actors. I should probably give a little shout out to Silent as well, like my friend Silent, because technically he did voice Sonic in my Pokemon Squad special, in the scene when Cyndaquil and Grookey turn into Sonic and Tails. So technically he did voice Sonic, but he doesn't count because that wasn't official. And I do need to say, I was going to do this for all the Sonic characters, but I think you might know why I don't want to do that. Because let's just say, the current voice of Eggman, I don't want to talk about him. That's all I'm going to say there. So I'm only doing Sonic. But let me know who your favorite voice of Sonic is down below. I'm not going to be surprised if it's Ryan Drummond or Jaheel White, to be honest, because they're mostly held in regard as the most popular ones. Even Devin Mack is held in high regard now. But yeah, let me know who your favorite Sonic voice is, and let me know if you don't agree with my tier list, because you know what, everyone's allowed their opinion. And please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for my Charlie video. Bye!